Welcome everyone, it's Ian O'Brien here, and I'm sitting down with Laurie Schubert today to talk about her experience learning guitar. We started working together about a year ago on Laurie's guitar playing, and she's had some really great progress. She's gone through multiple kind of levels of the structured approach that I have, and has learned to play a variety of songs and techniques and things. So I wanted to share it with you all to talk about the experience because I think she's made really great progress. So thanks for joining me today, Laurie.
Happy to do it.
Cool, excellent. What was your? Let's start with some questions. So, what was your motivation originally for wanting to play the guitar?
I think it's always kind of been in the back of my mind that I wanted to play a musical instrument. But I always thought you had to have this kind of innate talent that you were born with. And I didn't have that. I tried playing piano or organ when I was really young, but I was kind of forced into it and had to do recitals and just hated it all. Put it down as soon as I could. And then it's always kind of, as an adult, it's been in the back of my mind, but I never really had the time with career and everything. Um, but as I was approaching kind of semi-retirement now, I decided I wanted to do it. So I started piano in January of 21. I was kind of debating, do I want to do piano or do I want to do guitar? And I decided I'll start with piano because everybody said that was easier. And about 3 months after that, I just couldn't get the guitar out of my head. Um, like I have to do both. And I went out and went in with really no knowledge. Went in and bought my first guitar, and realized I had no idea where to even start. So that's kind of, you found me shortly after that. So, or I found you shortly after that.
Hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
cool, excellent. And how come you decided to work with me specifically?
I was looking around trying to find something online for lessons. Looked at a few other things, and it didn't seem to be real structured. I didn't, I mean, it was only a couple of weeks, but I really didn't feel like I was, like anything was geared towards a true beginner.
Hmm.
Um, and I found you on Facebook and kind of was intrigued by your ad, and we had that little chat. I liked your style. I liked the idea that it was a real structured approach, which is how I learn best. Um, and gave it a shot. And shortly after that, I think you contacted, maybe a couple of months after that, you contacted me about going into the mentorship group.
Mm,
Um, and that has just been great. It's been a wonderful addition to it. So
cool, absolutely fantastic. So, what was your experience been like with the program and my teaching over the last year?
it's been great. I actually made a lot more progress than I thought I would make. I'm able to play songs that I really didn't think I'd be able to play this soon. Um, it's like I said, we started really structured, and it literally starting for me was, how do you hold the guitar, and proper ways of holding it, and the way that you kind of organize the chord lessons and the song lessons, and they just flow so well, and you're able to start playing songs pretty easily. Um, so for me, the structure was just really great, and you kind of break it into little bite-sized chunks, which is really nice to be able to learn that way.
Cool. Excellent. Fantastic. And you've come a long way with your playing now, but do you remember the first song that you learned?
I think it was "Stand by Me,"
Okay, cool.
John Lennon.
Hmm. Excellent. Yeah, it's a great song to begin with. Certainly, and that was at white pick level, wasn't it? Right at the
Yes, yeah, that was White
foundation
Pick.
level. Great. Excellent. And what are some of the other songs that you've learned to play on until now?
Um, some of the ones I've learned that I really kind of stick out. "Shallow," which was one of the ones I requested, which is just my
Excellent.
favorite song of all time, I think, and I just love playing it. I've learned "Leaving on a Jet Plane." Trying to think here. "Peaceful Easy Feeling." Wow, I'm drawing a total blank. I'm sorry. Um,
I remember you were doing
Couple of Cat
Redemption
Stevens.
Song as well.
Pardon?
I remember you doing Redemption Song as well a while.
Redemption Song. That was a lot of fun to play. Um, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a total blank on some of the songs that I've learned here.
So
Um,
you've
country.
jumped into fingerstyle as
I
well.
have, and quite a bit. I enjoy listening to that style.
Hmm.
Um, So and it just really it's been a lot of fun. It's difficult at first, um, but I really enjoy doing that.
Cool,
So
excellent. I remember you began with, I think it was "Wake Me Up When September Ends." Was that the first fingers
right,
test
that was
song?
the first finger picking song that I learned. I'm remembering, but I'm losing the titles of some of the ones that I've learned. That was the first finger picking one I did. It was definitely a challenge, but the way you break it down, kind of bar by bar, just made it way easier than I think it would have been otherwise.
Yeah,
Um,
superb. And where did you go in terms of finger picking after that one?
um, it's the Cat Stevens. First time is the deepest I've done.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm working on "Play Me" by
Hmm.
Neil Diamond, and I'm trying to use a pick for that because I know that's a skill I'm
Right.
going to
Yes.
want as I go into some of the other songs that I want to learn.
Hmm.
Uh, so I'm trying to. That's a whole different skill set, which is different than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, definitely. Coordinating fingers is one thing, and it requires the whole hand, of course. But
Mhm.
in order to do that with just the pick, then it's the level of accuracy, isn't it, that you to get to the specific strings and stuff. But you're doing great with that as well. I remember a couple of songs you did. Bad Moon Rising, way back as
Way
well.
back, I was one of the first ones, yeah. And
Excellent,
wish or For What It's Worth is a lot of fun to play too. I still go back and
excellent.
play that one. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So
great. There's a few people suddenly, like the last couple of days, who've have been learning that as well. That cropped up. It seems to have they come in cycles, don't they? But that's
hmm
great. And did you do Sound of Silence as well?
yes, I'm doing that at White Pick.
Hmm. Yeah, excellent.
Learning that.
Yeah,
It's a little challenging one, but I like going back and doing some of those and just picking up different skill sets. Uh, so
excellent.
that's nice.
Yeah, brilliant. And you've covered a range of the different levels, haven't you? You're doing some stuff at Orange Pick level now. Is that right?
I'm doing Play Me at Orange Pick. I did part of Shallow at Orange Pick. Like he kind of helped in the mentorship. He helped me kind of modify a couple of the chords so that I could learn the finger pick style of that song.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah.
yeah, fantastic. Well, that's a lovely collection of songs. Do you know how many songs in total that you've learned over the last?
It's between 20 and 25 that I've learned over the course of the year. So it's been way more than I ever thought I was going to be able to do.
That's fantastic. And we're talking about intricate music as well, aren't we? Like it's not just strumming stuff, like some of it's quite in depth in terms of the finger picking and things like that, the riffs and stuff. And
hmm
that's really great. Learning to use the pick and play with your fingers in that period of time is really, really fantastic and brings more versatility to what you can do. Really, really excellent. That's a great achievement. What does your practice look like in order to get there? Like, how many days a week do you pick up the guitar, and how long do you play for?
I try to pick it up every day. There's been a few days over the course of the year where life got in the way and I just couldn't do it. But I try to pick it up for at least 5 minutes every day just to kind of keep my fingers in practice. Um, Keep the calluses going on my fingers because they tend to disappear pretty quickly for me. Um, and I admit there are some days where I get frustrated and I put it down after 5 minutes. I just do some chord progressions and it's like, okay, it's not there today.
Mhm.
Put it down, pick it up, and usually by the next day, whatever that blip is gone. My typical session, I try to play between 30 and 60 minutes a day. Um, and kind of start off with something, kind of the way you suggested. I start off with something that I know that's easy, that I can just kind of enjoy, and then I go into the learning part of kind of picking up some new things, and then I end with something that I just like playing.
Excellent.
And I find that doing my practice that way, it really helps me get into the mindset and kind of focus on what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I really like that approach to doing things. I think it's really, really helpful because you're covering refreshing things of the past. You're covering new things that are challenging, and you're kind of leaving on a high. It's like the playing, the enjoyment of playing as well. So we're separating the practicing and the playing a little bit, which is, yeah, really great. Excellent approach to doing things. And would you recommend my teaching and the program to other people?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's like I don't think I would have made nearly the progress that I've made without this really structured approach. And I like your style of teaching. You're very, especially in the mentorship calls, you're so able to. And this is one thing that when I first started, like, is how can you learn guitar over Zoom? It just
Mm.
didn't seem like it. Not being in the same room and seeing what I'm doing, but the way you can break things down, in the way you adjust your, I guess, your teaching style to people's learning styles, um, makes it so easy to learn. And it just, in the mentorship calls, I think we have everybody from people from who just started a couple of weeks ago to people who have been playing and are at, green and blue pick and are just amazing players already. Um, and I find myself learning from the questions that they ask, things that I never even thought to ask. So I think that has really sped along my progress.
Yeah, fantastic. Definitely. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I love the stuff that comes up from, obviously I'm here to help everyone and meet them where they are and guide them through the challenges they're having as a teacher. But there's a lot of kind of magic that comes up, isn't there, from having different people experience different things and the challenges they're having, and they can jump in and give different advice and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
it's something I've noticed that you do a lot as well with if somebody's got a question or they've asked me, and then people jump into the chat and they'll add to it. And it's really great to have the support of like a group collaborating to all achieve similar things. Really,
Right.
really
And
fun.
yeah, and the groups that you put together, it's fairly rare on the internet, but they're really supportive people,
Yeah,
both in the mentorship call and in the Facebook group. I don't think I've seen a negative comment
yeah. No, I don't think
in
so
any of the
either.
groups, which is great. In fact, it was funny. I was popped onto Facebook on another group this morning, and a new person, asked a question about that topic, and they said they were new, and I really don't understand this. And the first response they got was, "You are so stupid," and that was the entirety of the response. No,
Oh,
I have never seen a negative comment either in the mentorship calls or in the Facebook group, which is very rare, and it's really nice to have that place where you can go and understand that people are going to be patient and understand and explain things at that level that you are,
mm.
and you're not going to be criticized for asking something that somebody thinks is a very basic question. So that's really a nice place to be.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think partly it's the members that really make the program, and obviously I keep the numbers of people that quite small in terms of the size of the program, but also obviously we it's important that people are a good fit, that they're going to be helpful, they're going to be encouraging, they're not going to show off or be critical of other people. And yeah, we've got such a great group together that yeah, I'm always kind of in awe of the things that kind of arise out of the collaborations and stuff that I'm not really directly responsible for. Like some members have, I remember a while back, like one of the members, John, he needed to take his guitar to the shop to be set up, and he wouldn't have it for a week or so to practice. So another member heard about this Roddy, and he drove over to John's house and lent him his spare guitar. And I was like, that's amazing. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
just there's a lot of magic that happens from getting good people together to do something together. Yeah,
Absolutely.
really good point. What advice do you have for an adult beginner who's learning to play guitar, um, that you think would be helpful?
I think the big advice that I have is follow the program, follow the process that you've developed. There is, even if you may not think that you may not understand what the logic is when you're starting, there's definitely a logic in that progression. Um, don't try and jump ahead too quickly, which I did and had to kind of take a step back and go, okay, wait a minute, I'm not ready for this. Admit that when you need to kind of go back and go, okay, I need to build some more skill set before I go up to either another chord set or another level of the program, um, and be patient with yourself. don't expect to be out there playing Clapton the first week that you have a guitar in your hands. It's just not going to work. And I think that is something that I'm like, oh wow, I see all these people and you want to play it, and you're like, yeah, that's down the road, and accept that and just kind of enjoy the learning process. I guess is the biggest piece of advice.
Yeah, great advice. Definitely. Like if it's not enjoyable on the way, then we're not we're not likely to stick with it long term, are we? So, that's part of why we have such a structured approach and breaking things down into chunks so that every time we pick up the guitar, we can make bits of progress and we can get that the feeling of satisfaction and the picking, encouragement to pick it up more frequently. Yeah, fantastic stuff. That's great advice. Well, thanks, Laurie. I really appreciate this, and I think you've done really fantastic with your guitar playing over the last year. I'm
Thank you.
really impressed and really pleased. It's great to hear the sort of how eclectic the choice of songs that you're learning and stuff is, and the different techniques and stuff.
They are,
Right.
and I think one kind of maybe side benefit for me, I went through your list of your archives of the song lessons. I think early on, and I think there was well over 100 songs that I wanted to learn, but I
Yeah.
wanted to be able to not sit and kind of look for something new each time. I wanted to kind of have a plan of where I wanted to be and what levels I needed to be at to play the songs. And it was well over 100, and I think it's grown exponentially at this point. But one of the things I've found is there's such a variety in the music that you have the lessons for, that not only has it been going back and going, wow, I don't remember that song, but I really love it, to I have never even heard of this artist, but I really love the music that they play. So it's really broadened my taste in music, I guess. It's kind of opened me up to more styles, which has been really, really a lot of fun.
Fantastic. Me too. Like some of the artists that get requested, I've sort of maybe I've heard of them, but I don't really know the song. I don't really know the music. When you requested "Shallow," I knew it was a big song, and I hadn't seen the film, and I thought that's unusual because it's not just Lady Gaga who's an accomplished musician, but it's Bradley Cooper as well. And I thought, what's that like? And that through listening to it and figuring it out on the guitar and doing the chord sheet and the transcription stuff, that it really got me, that song. Like I hadn't given it the time, and that's an incredible song. Like that's really going to stand the test of time. Like
It's just so beautiful. Like I said, I start, and a lot of times I end with just playing that song, just because it's just, I love the sound of it, and it's just so much fun to play. So
excellent. Yeah, that's magic. Well, thanks for introducing me to that one properly. So that's really great. Lovely stuff. All right. Well, thanks for doing this again, and
no problem.
I really appreciate it. And have a lovely day.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.